All right. Welcome once again, our dear viewer, to Budget Cafe Discussions, a platform which bridges the knowledge and awareness gap regarding the budget making space here in Kenya.
Greetings, Beatrice. Prior to today's session, we had embarked on understanding the county fiscal strategy paper, and we shared about like the 3 P's and 1 C. So in the previous training, we learned about performance projection, and today we are finalizing on the discussion on the CFSP to embark further on priorities and ceilings. So before we embark on priorities and then now comparing it now to what the county has proposed, all right? And the ceilings as well. So Beatrice,
Yes.
in simple terms, what do you think priority is?
What should be done before the other?
So in short, you're saying that maybe the county has various things to consider, but it prioritizes, it says that we want to do this one first because maybe it's more important now, it will be more important to the citizens of that particular county or the residents. So right now, I want to share the county fiscal strategy paper for 20, this one for 20. So let me share it. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'd mismatch. Yes, so we have here the county fiscal strategy paper 2020. So you can see like chapter 3, they are giving an overview. They are saying that the 2020 county fiscal strategy paper highlights the various priority policies and programs to be implemented in the medium term to achieve the county agenda, designed to propel Machakos from the third world to the first world. And to achieve this, the county government has taken decisive steps to implement the development aspirations expounded in the CIDP 2018-2022, as well as the Big Four agenda. The actualization of these policies and programs are aimed at now these, like ensuring access to quality social services, UHC, clean and safe water, early childhood development, ensuring food security and improved nutrition, infrastructure, improvement and expansion, ensuring sustainable environmental conservation, creating a conducive business and investment environment, and increasing the share of manufacturing sector to GDP. So you can see now the county is expounding further on the objectives and discussing further with regard to each sector. All right. So one way for you to clearly know what the county prioritizes in that particular year when they are doing the CFSP is looking also at the budget allocation for the sectors. And this one you usually find in chapter 4, okay? Or even maybe the annex section. So you can see here the review, we had gone through the performance review, even with regard to on-source revenue. So, and this is the half-year departmental expenditure, recess envelope. Yes. So this is now the like income for the county. That we also talked about that equitable share, conditional grants, and on-source revenue. We talked about it earlier. And yeah, so when we look at also priorities, the county government when they're saying that they have given a certain department more money than the other, they are supposed to even write down and state, this is the reason why we are prioritizing this sector more than this sector. So, Beatrice, if you look at this particular document, you can see, so you will look at here, at this one, like the budget estimates here, this row, So, the entire county government budget is 11 billion, okay? If you look at it, which sector is receiving a lot of money? So if you have a pen there, maybe you can write it down. I can read for you. So
Public service.
For the office of the governor, it is giving 456 million. Public service quality management, it is giving 5.8 billion. Trade is being given 107 million and something. Finance and economic planning is receiving 78 million. County administration and decentralized unit is receiving 62 million. Agriculture, food security and cooperative development is receiving 336 million plus something. Water and irrigation is receiving 483 million. Health and emergency services is receiving 1 million. 1 million plus. Roads is receiving 1 million plus. Education, skills, training, and social development is receiving 173 million plus. Energy, lands, and housing, 139 million plus. Tourism, youth, sports, and culture, 173 million plus. County Public Service Board, 7 million. County Assembly, 841 million. Okay? And then we have this other one, which is, yes, County Assembly receiving 1 million. So, Beatrice, after looking at this, which one do you, what do you think is the, what do you think is the priority of the county?
We've got to go up. There is something, just go up. Oh,
I
that
go
is
up.
the hapo juu, twende juu kidogo. I think, yeah, when you are there, it looks like the, is it public service? Public service seems to get a lot. It's getting 5 million.
It is not 5 million, 5 billion.
5 billion. 5 billion. Yeah, which seems to be on the higher side as compared to others are getting very crucial things, are getting 1 billion only. Like health is getting 1 billion when the public service is getting 5.
And one thing you should also note, like the county has not given why they have given public service like the highest amount, because that is why a narrative is really supposed to be given. You see, like if you look at if you go to the previous chapter, you will find that the government is saying it's giving county strategic objectives. There is agriculture cooperative development sector. So you find that the county like what they are saying here in this document is completely different
from what they are giving
from what they are
priority.
budgeting for. You can see that they are saying that they are looking forward to, like, they are saying we want to give priority health. We want to give priority safe water. We want to give priority early childhood development. But when you look at the budget allocations that these have been given, it's kinda, it doesn't translate what they are saying. You can see that they're saying that they want to ensure there's food security and improved nutrition. But you find that agriculture, the amount that is being given, it doesn't seem like it is the priority. So you find that even the ones that have been mentioned here, when it comes to the budget, they are receiving minimal amount. All right. So you see, like they're saying agriculture is the main development, is the main economic activity in the county. But when it comes to budget allocation, you find that the agriculture is receiving less money. All right.
Yeah.
The same case as the health sector. They are saying that the health sector, they seek to achieve the highest possible standards of quality. But you find that it's also not receiving adequate amount. All right.
Yeah.
Energy, infrastructure, and ICT, you find that this particular department will also see what they are going to say. And so you find like even ICT sector here, okay? Now, let us go down here to the budget again. So, when we look at the budget, the government is saying that trade is also a priority to them when we looked at what they had mentioned. But looked at the amount it has been allocated, 107 million, 189,222. Look at public service, quality management and ICT, 5 billion. And yet, this is not the main economic activity of the county. And then you find that the one that they are saying is the main economic of the activity of the county is agriculture. Agriculture has been given 336 million, 259,860. So the issue here is sometimes you find like what they are writing doesn't translate to the budget amount that has been allocated. So it's like those two documents, they are speaking different languages. The other thing is there is no narrative stating why the county decided that in that financial year they are going to prioritize on public service, quality management, and ICT. Why they should give it more allocation as compared to health. Imagine 5 billion. And you can see for the forthcoming years is 6 billion and then 6.4 billion for the subsequent years. So when it comes to priority, that is how you look at. Okay. In that particular document, is there a narrative showing the priorities, what the priorities of the county are? And if those priorities are there, are those priorities the same that have been outlined in the budget document so that you can say, indeed, it is? But in this case, Beatrice, you've seen, Martin, you have seen, does this CFSP answer those questions really?
No.
Not at all, all right? The other thing that you should also note is that So here they have given a note. They have said that salaries for county executive have been factored in the Department of Public Service Quality Management and ICT. All right. So they have just given this narrative here. That that is the reason why they have given 5 billion there. Okay. 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 So that's the reason why they have said why it is this high. Okay. Then that means that the salaries, like now, like you see, like even if you look at it, like the recurrent expenditure is the one that is taking too much money. Recurrent is the one that goes towards paying of the salaries, towards paying of the even wages, towards even buying things that are needed in the office, fast moving goods and services.
But even in the office of the governor, there is recurrent of 452 million. So why have they left that figure there?
Which one?
Katika office of the governor,
yes,
there is the recurrent of 452 million.
Yes.
And the narrative they gave was that the salary for the executive has been put in the public service.
Yes, so you know, like now that one is kind of confusing because you find like the office of the governor, you find that also the county executives are there. So you wonder why they are. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Martin, do you want to contribute with regards to that?
I'm just enjoying that, but I'm enjoying the conversation. And in fact, it's like now I'm getting concerned on the way out of this, because it's like we are being lectured a narrative, but on the reality, the things are very different. They are not walking the talk. So I don't know. I think you need to emphasize on how we can influence the priorities being reflected on the budget, rather than just receiving the empty talks and the promises. So I think I would wish to hear from where we are now. How do we get to seeing those priorities being reflected on the budget?
Yeah, so
Thank
I
you.
think, continue.
Yeah, so, you know, there, at least we need to have institutions. I don't know whether MPP is one of them, or whether we need to always sensitize individuals, because it's a bit difficult for an individual to influence. But I would wish you also help us on which institutions in particular happened above the maybe county assemblies of the MCS and the others. What other entries can we use to influence these outcomes?
All right. So in answer to your question, I'm proposing that what we need to do is we can pay a courtesy call as budget champions to the clerk of the budget appropriation committee and share our concerns with them, because I spoke with the clerk and the clerk had said that they don't have an issue. As if we have concerns, we go and share with them. All right. So the good thing is that the county government of Machakos, they are willing to listen to us and see how we can work together to ensure that the budget speaks for the needs of the people.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's good news.
So now the other thing that I wanted to talk about is ceiling. All right? It is ceiling. Now ceiling, as we had mentioned before, ceiling, as we had mentioned before, you find that ceilings usually give the maximum amounts for how much can be spent in each sector for the coming year. Okay? So, if you look at this particular document, you find that the Office of the Governor, they have given 456,292,000. Trade 107 million. So during the county fiscal strategy paper, when this particular document is published online, that is when you as a citizen, you look at the sector that you work in. So like those ones who are in this sector, trade, industrialization, and innovation. If you look at the budget, you can see that previously it was 433 million, but it was now cut to 107,189,882. If the people in that sector are okay with the cut, and they do not participate, and they do not submit their views during the and they do not submit their views during public participation in form of a memo as well, then you find that this amount is the one that will go, that will more so be utilized in the program-based budget. And that is why it is imperative for you as a citizen to look at the sector that you are interested in. So, like Martin, allow me to ask you,
yes,
which sector are you interested in this particular budget? So that we can look at the budget allocation.
I'm using my phone. Some of the numbers I can't see, but anything to do with the research and education.
Research
I don't know
and
whether we have such a forte.
Unless this one for education, skills, training, and social welfare.
Oh yes, that one is appropriate.
Now that one, that sector has been allocated 173,113,083.
Yes.
So out of a budget of 11 billion, your sector has only been allocated 173 million.
Very dismal.
And that is for a whole year. And mind you, this amount of money is the one that goes towards education, that goes towards skills training, and it goes towards social welfare. So that means it's going to be split. And imagine that is the amount of money that is also going towards even paying of the salaries of the people in that department. Is that money adequate?
Oh, it can't. This is it cannot. This is a big joke. And
now, in the previous financial year of 2019-2020, it was allocated 594,314,821. But now it has been cut from 594 to 173 million. So you can see, this, if it is not enough and you as a citizen, you are feeling the pain, then during the CFSP, that is when you usually go and advocate at the public participation forums that are being held in every sub-county or even every board, to go and share your concerns why they should increase this budget allocation. And you can even propose a number, all right? So you see, like in this case, if it wasn't approved, then you find that it will go as it is. Because you can see that for the financial year 2020, 2021, 2022, they had projected to increase it by just around another 8 million, so that it can be 181, all right? So you still find it is a minimal amount. So that is why it is essential for you as a budget champion to participate in this public participation forum so that you can go and air views that are connected to your sector. Yes. Beatrice.
Yes.
Which sector are you interested in so that we can see how much allocation, budget allocation it has
I'm
been given?
interested in health.
Health. All right. So health, you find that for health in the financial year 2020-2021, it was given 1 billion. And yet the previous year, it was given 4 billion. So the budget was cut by approximately 3 billion. Were you comfortable with that? Because like even for the financial year 2021, they had projected to give it just 1.1 billion.
It can't be enough.
If you are a citizen who's a stakeholder in the health sector, is that amount adequate?
It is not.
And if it is not adequate, what does this mean?
People have their priorities wrong.
So this is the reason why Beatrice and Martin, you need to participate in these public participation forums so as to raise your concerns on why they should increase this budget allocation. And then you submit a memo outlining evidence why they should support it. All right? Yeah.
Yes.
So right now, as you can see, we have right now, as you can see, we have gone through now the 4 elements of a CFSP, which is the 3 P's and 1 C. So the first one was performance, second one projection, priorities, and ceilings. And we had stated that there should be data on budget performance for the current year, at least first 6 months, projections for the coming year plus 2 years. So you can see like now what we had mentioned about projection. So with regard to projection, we had, you can see it is given here. Like for 2021, 2022, the projected estimates for 2021, 2023, all right? So these are the projections. And then the other thing that we'll also see is that there should be a narrative explaining priorities for the coming year. And this is something that we have seen that is missing. Because the county government is saying that it is prioritizing this and that. But they have not stated why. You see, like even the one that they are saying that the reason behind the budget for public ICT is receiving 5 billion, they are saying that it's because salaries of public servants are there. But there is no narrative explaining why they are receiving that amount of money, that high amount of money. And yet, the other sectors as well, they also have recurrent expenditure, which also means that included there are also salaries. So what are they telling us? You know? So, like we can see for this one for county government of Machakos, we have not been given a narrative explaining why they have stated that they have given public service priority, they have given health priority, they have given energy infrastructure priority. And then you also find that they are saying that the county government of Machakos prioritizes agriculture. Yet you find agriculture has been given minimal amount of money. So how are they going to, how will that, and yet it is being said that agriculture is the backbone. of Machakos County economy. So these are some of the questions, like when you go through this document, you jot down the questions, and then when we organize a meeting with the county assembly or the county executive, we go and ask them so that we get clarifications even as budget champions. And then now we also looked at ceilings, which are maximum amounts for how much can be spent in each sector for the coming year, which we showed you. Like health was 1 billion, public service 5 billion, all right? And then we had also mentioned that the CFSP should be aligned with the national objectives in the public policy statement, okay?
Yes.
And we had also mentioned that the person who prepares this county fiscal strategy paper it is prepared by the county treasury and submitted to the county executive committee for approval. So when we say county treasury, that is where you find the county budget appropriation committee. That is why I was saying that any questions that we have, we can pay a courtesy call to the clerk of the county assembly budget committee so that they can answer our queries. So once it is prepared by the county treasury, it is submitted to the county executive committee. And then once approved, the county treasury submits the approved CFSP to the county assembly by 28th of February each year. And the county assembly in turn has 14 days to consider and adapt the CFSP with or without amendments. And the county treasury must also make the CFSP available to the public within 7 days of the tabling in the assembly. And by making it public is they publish it online, where every citizen can access and go through it the way you have gone through it. And the county treasury must take into account the views of the public in formulating its CFSP. Generally, this is supposed to be done through sectoral hearings that occur in January or February. And in addition, the law requires the County Budget and Economic Forum, a body that brings together public and executive, to review the CFSP. And then the CFSP should be in line with the budget policy statement. The budget policy statement is the equivalent of the CFSP at the national level. Okay. So yeah. So back to you, Martin. Do you have a question or a comment? Beatrice as well.
I think I'm okay myself.
What about you, Martin?
Oh, I'm just grateful for this portion. I think every time we interact, I realize how much I don't know many things. So these things I want to internalize them because they embolden very much into my concerns, and I like being an advocate of the injustices. So I wish I could just internalize them the way you have. So maybe I will get back to you on the timings. On you've said we can present our concerns.
Yes.
Individuals, you call them clerk, or using this outfit.
Yes.
Or another.
Yes.
So those are, I think when people are silent, people assume everybody is contented, and the politicians, they ride on that. They ride on our cowardice, our ignorance, and they prioritize themselves, and they just concentrate on their self-aggrandizements and the self-interest. So I think this is quite informing, and it's eye-open. I wish the audience could be larger than we are.
Uh-huh.
So I'm quite appreciative.
Great, great, great. So I'd also like to appreciate your time to participate in today's training.